Everyone, I am Jim Gass with SpliceNet Consulting, and I want to thank you for your time. It's interesting. I've been doing these for a couple of weeks now, maybe about a month actually, and it never occurred to me that not everyone understands or knows what Copilot for Microsoft 365 is. And so I thought I'd take a step back today and really just kind of give a little bit of insight and background on Microsoft Copilot for 365, or Copilot for Microsoft 365, to let everybody kind of understand a little bit more about it. Lots of questions surrounding what it is, its security, how it works, what it can do for me. Is it going to steal my job? Things like that, right? And so I'm going to take a minute or two just to talk to you, if that's okay. I think it's really important to have a conversation about Copilot for Microsoft 365 instead of just jumping right in and doing more demonstrations. We'll do more of those, but for right now, let's just kind of have a conversation. So first and foremost, let me tell you this. Copilot for Microsoft 365 is an artificial intelligence engine built specifically into your Microsoft 365 tenant. And I'll compare it also today within the next 5 minutes to ChatGPT and say what it is and what it isn't in comparison to ChatGPT, because many people have already experienced ChatGPT and understand that. So let's talk about the why on Copilot for Microsoft 365. Your data that is in your Copilot, your data in your Microsoft 365 is private and confidential information versus what's on the internet. Okay. And so when you use ChatGPT, it's drawing on the information that's on the internet to answer your questions and give you results. What are your questions? Create a document for me, create a picture for me, statistics, what's this, what's that. It's not a search engine. It's an interactive intelligence engine that can give you natural language results in paragraph form, most of the time, or bullet point form, that you can relate to, because that's what you would tell somebody else that would ask you that, versus a search engine that just gives you website links. Now, ChatGPT draws on the internet for that information and various sources on the internet. Also, it draws upon the questions that has been asked before and things like that as well. Microsoft 365 is like that, except its job is to draw upon the information that's in your Microsoft 365. Your email, your documents, your meetings, your OneNote, all of these things that you use within your Microsoft 365 that are kept in your Microsoft 365, that are secure and only available in your Microsoft 365, a Copilot for Microsoft 365 can draw on that. So if you ask a question, when is the last time we did a document about a business purchase agreement of a share purchase? I'm just throwing out an example. Copilot can bring you back results of that, okay, of that question, and give you summaries of each of those documents, okay? What it's not doing is it's not going to the internet if you don't want it to. I'm going to put a caveat on that. If you don't want it to, it's not going to the internet and looking for that information. It's going into your local and private repositories of data. A lot of people say, is it secure? Well, so let's talk about security. ChatGPT, you're putting questions in, you're building its algorithm, it's pulling information from public sources on the internet, right? A Copilot for Microsoft 365 doesn't look to anything other than the stuff in Microsoft 365 unless you turn on its ability to go to the internet too, which is an option that you can use. But if you're asking about a document that's on your environment, you're going to tell me about this document, summarize this 30-page document, summarize this PowerPoint presentation. When is the last time I had an appointment? Yeah, it's drawing on the information that's already in your Microsoft 365, because Copilot exists in your Microsoft 365, just like your email does, just like your documents do. So yeah, it's secure because the stuff inside of your Microsoft 365 is secure too. Here's another thing. Everybody says, well, I don't want everybody in my office to be able to pull information from all of our resources on our Microsoft 365. Well, the good news is that Copilot for Microsoft 365, it acts as if it's you. So it because it actually respects the security that you have. So if I can't get the HR data, guess what? Copilot can't give me results from HR data. If I can't get to financial data, it's not going to give me information on financial data. It will only return results about specific information that I have access to. So I'm the owner of the company. I have access to my mailbox. I have access to pretty much every folder share in the company that hasn't been locked down from me because of some kind of firewall or security reason or compliance reason. So I can draw on all that information except the stuff that I can't get to by normal security. Now, people say, well, if I ask it a question that's not related to something in our Microsoft 365, is that secure? Well, yeah, it's going out to the internet, it's pulling that information in, but it's not actually going out and telling some other engine out there that there is that somebody is asking a particular question, and instead it's going out and pulling the information in for itself. Whereas the Chat GPT, it's keeping that information. So somebody could say, hey, we did this on this date in a Chat GPT, and Chat GPT utilizes that information for its results for you and possibly for somebody else down the road. Whereas Microsoft 360 Copilot for Microsoft 365 is only utilizing that for your purposes and your purposes only. All right. Now, the thing about a Copilot for Microsoft 365 is that it's not going to replace jobs. Everybody says, I'm so worried about it replacing jobs, and I get that, right? And look, I've been through in the advent of robots and manufacturing processes. I've been through the advent of computers in work processes. I've been through a lot of it. And all these people that say things are going to replace jobs, I'm telling you, I've never seen it. But here's what I am going to say. And then if you've lost your job because of one of those, my apologies, because, I've never seen it. But what I will say is this: Copilot is just one of those tools that, like a computer, made your job better and faster, made it so that you can do more and be more agile in your job, right? And so it's like an assistant in most cases. Hey, go tell me this information that I need. Go find this information over here. Write this document for me. Create an image. It's doing that type of thing. So I don't have to go through the process of creating a PowerPoint presentation, putting in the pictures, putting in all the styles and formats and all the stuff that goes into a PowerPoint presentation. I can tell Copilot to go do it for me in a matter of a minute and save myself 30 minutes to an hour of trying to just pick a stupid graphic, the clip art that I would want to use, right? No, it just finds it for me. Can I replace it? Yeah, sure. You can do whatever you want with it after that point. But it's not replacing your job. It's just going to make it better and faster so that you can do more with your time. Higher level things is what I like to think. Hey, it's not important what graphic I use. What's important is what that graphic represents and the words around that graphic and what I talk about in that graphic or that slide deck, right? That's what a Copilot's going to do for you. I like to think that it takes the low end menial tasks away from us so that we can concentrate on the bigger things. One of the other things I'm going to finish up here, because I'm already over, it's these sessions never go 5 minutes. They seem like they always extend. One of the other things is I like to say is that a Copilot for Microsoft 365 is really helping us be more productive, right? I can now focus my time and energy on harder things, more thought-intensive things. Well, I don't like it. But when it does a result for you, when it gives you a document, when it gives you a PowerPoint, when it gives you a draft of an email, because it can do all those things, and I've demonstrated many of those things, and I'll do more later on, do not take it verbatim. An artificial intelligence engine is not necessarily you. It doesn't think like a human being. It is a computer. It is doing something in the background with just churning information and trying to give you the best result possible. Don't take that result and use it and just run, right? No. Verify, verify, verify. Make sure it's in your language. Make sure it's, when I say language, I mean your tone, your voice, right? Make sure it's coming from you the way you want it to. Make sure that it's accurate. Maybe make sure that whatever result it's giving you fits company culture. Make sure it's not breaking any rules that it's not aware of, right? And so on and so on. Also, hey, listen, we don't want to plagiarize. So we need to make sure that whatever it's returning is valid information and it's not just regurgitated from somebody else's. And if it does, you can tell it to rephrase it in a different manner, in a different tone, in a different voice, and whatever you want to do. So hopefully that kind of helps a little bit. I know we're all buried in our work. I know we get, just bogged down. if you're one of those people that get bogged down with your work all the time, what I would recommend is have somebody in your organization reach out to me, get with me, and start talking about a Copilot demonstration. I like to call them roadmaps. I like to call them, test drives and stuff like that. I'll do any number of these things. And my email is at the ticker at the bottom. Plus, I got a QR code at the top. If you really want to save yourself some time, if you really hadn't heard about Copilot, and you're looking for the people in your organization to work better, smarter, and faster, definitely hit me up at jim@splice.net. So hope this is helpful for you. I'll see you again next Tuesday with another Tech Talk Tuesday tip.